Intro. Beloved, take a deep breath and place your hand over your heart. Whisper, my words are seeds. Today, I plant only what I wish to harvest. Life is always listening. It responds to the language you speak, the thoughts you repeat, and the feelings you allow to take root. When you speak in faith, you are not asking for a favor, you are issuing a decree to the unseen. Your tongue is the pen that writes tomorrow's story. Today, let me give you 5 keys to speaking your reality into existence. Every word that leaves your lips is a seed planted in the fertile soil of your life. Some seeds grow into flowers, others into thorns, yet all take root according to the nature of what was spoken. There is a great and unchanging law at work here. The tongue directs the path, just as a small rudder turns a great ship. Many wonder why life seems filled with obstacles, delays, or repeated struggles, and yet, if they would trace the trail back to their own speech, they would find the origin. Words spoken in frustration, fear, or resignation become blueprints for the very experiences one wishes to avoid. To say, I cannot, I never, or I am unlucky, is to hand life an instruction manual for lack and limitation. The universe does not distinguish between jest and sincerity, between passing complaint and deep declaration. It receives every word as a command. When the lips utter defeat, the path ahead is strewn with conditions to confirm that defeat. When the lips utter possibility, the path opens to prove that possibility true. It is not enough to hope silently for good while speaking daily of hardship. The tongue and the heart must agree, for when the two are in harmony, the creative power of speech is magnified. Speech is the outward evidence of inward belief, and belief will always manifest itself. To speak what you want is not to ignore reality. It is to refuse to give your energy to a reality you do not wish to extend. The one who constantly tells of their misfortunes is watering weeds, keeping them green and vigorous. The one who tells of blessings, even small ones, is inviting more of the same. This is not blind optimism, it's the deliberate choice to hold to the vision of what is desired until it outweighs what is presently seen. Imagine a gardener who, in planting season, scatters seeds of flowers in one row and seeds of poison ivy in the next, all while saying they only want roses. In time, both will grow, because both were planted. This is how it is with speech. To say one desires abundance, yet speak often of poverty, is to sow and reap a mixed harvest. The wise sower plants only what they wish to see flourish. This is the discipline of the lips, to speak in alignment with the desired harvest. There are countless stories of those who transformed their circumstances simply by transforming their speech. A woman working in a joyless job began each morning by saying she was guided to work that brought her fulfillment and reward. She stopped speaking of her low pay and long hours and started speaking of the opportunities that were finding her. Within 3 months, a position opened unexpectedly in another department, doubling her pay and surrounding her with colleagues she admired. The change began not in her workplace but in her words. There is also a subtle strength in speaking as though what you desire is already here. When the speech affirms that good is present, the mind relaxes its resistance, and the body begins to act in ways that welcome that good. This is why statements made in the present tense, words that declare the desire as reality, carry such power. They train the inner world to expect fulfillment and to prepare for it. The shopkeeper who speaks of steady customers will find themselves more alert to ways of attracting them. The artist who speaks of their work being valued will see opportunities to present it in places where it can be recognized. Fear, when given a voice, multiplies. To speak of what is dreaded is to send out a call for its confirmation. The mind, hearing these words, begins to scan for evidence to support them. Soon, life reflects back the very thing that was feared. To reverse this, one must place a guard over the mouth, allowing only those words to pass which match the vision of good. It is not a matter of pretending challenges do not exist. It is the refusal to let them dominate the conversation. When the habit of speaking what is wanted becomes natural, life takes on a different rhythm. Possibilities appear where none were seen before. Ideas arrive without effort. Help comes from unexpected quarters. This is not coincidence. It's the direct result of consistent, purposeful speech shaping the field of experience. Even in moments when the evidence seems slow to appear, speaking words of faith keeps the soil ready and the seed alive. It is wise to remember that speech not only creates for the self, but influences those who hear it. Words of encouragement can lift another into their own vision of possibility. Words of fear can dim another's hope. By speaking what is wanted, one becomes a living example of faith in action, and that energy is contagious. The discipline begins with awareness. Listen to your own words throughout the day. Catch yourself when you start to give life to what you do not want. Pause and choose again. Replace the complaint with a declaration of what you desire instead. Over time, this becomes second nature, and the old habit of speaking from fear falls away. Life will always echo back the words that are sent into it. Speak of abundance, and doors to abundance open. Speak of health, and strength flows in. Speak of love, and relationships blossom. Speak your reality now, for the moment you do, the unseen begins to move, arranging circumstances to match the words you have chosen. Guard them well, for in them lies the power to shape the very fabric of your days. To believe your words are law, every word you speak carries the authority of a decree. When you fully understand this, you no longer speak carelessly or without intention. Your words are not empty sounds floating into the air. They are commands issued to the unseen forces that govern the unfolding of your life. To believe your words are law is to stand in the truth that once spoken with faith, they set events into motion that cannot help but seek fulfillment. Many people utter desires as if they were weak suggestions, hoping life might notice and perhaps grant them a small favor. This timid manner produces timid results. The one who believes their words are law does not beg or plead. They speak with the assurance of one who knows their authority is recognized in the spiritual and material realms. Just as a judge declares a verdict and the officers carry it out, so your own declarations are carried out by the laws of cause and effect. Belief is the foundation. Without it, words fall to the ground without power. With it, words become unshakable commands. When you speak with belief, there is no room for wavering or double-mindedness. The energy behind your words is steady, unbroken, and certain. Your tone, your posture, your inner conviction all communicate that what you have spoken is already so, and life responds accordingly. To speak with this kind of authority is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is the recognition that you are part of the creative order of the universe, and your voice is one of its instruments. You are not demanding from a place of lack. You are affirming from a place of truth. You are calling into visibility that which already exists in the unseen, knowing that your faith is the bridge by which it travels into form. There are countless examples of lives transformed by this principle. A man who had long struggled to find steady work decided he would no longer speak of himself as unemployed. Each morning he declared with conviction that he was fully employed in perfect right work, richly rewarded and deeply satisfied. He did not mumble these words as a distant hope, he announced them as fact. Within a short time, a former colleague contacted him with a position that matched exactly what he had described. His belief made his words law, and the law fulfilled itself. The difference between idle wishing and creative command lies in certainty. When you say something you truly believe, your entire being aligns with it. Your mind begins to expect it, your emotions begin to feel it, and your actions naturally support it. This inner harmony sends a clear and undivided signal into the world, and the world reflects it back. Believing your words are law also requires discipline over contradiction. If you declare prosperity in the morning but spend the afternoon complaining about lack, you are canceling your own decree. The law responds to the dominant instruction, and mixed orders create mixed results. Guard your speech as a ruler guards their kingdom, allowing only those words to pass your lips that strengthen the reality you choose to experience. Faithful speech is not shaken by delay. When a farmer plants a seed, he does not dig it up each day to see if it has sprouted. He knows the law of growth is working beneath the surface, unseen but unfailing. In the same way, when you have spoken your decree with belief, you do not need to see immediate evidence to know it is moving toward you. You rest in the certainty that the law is at work and that the manifestation will come at the right moment and in the right way. This kind of belief transforms your relationship with life. Instead of feeling like a powerless observer, you recognize yourself as a participant in creation. You understand that your words are not mere commentary on what is happening, they are the architect's instructions for what will happen. You become deliberate, purposeful, and watchful over every statement you make. Consider the woman who longed for a peaceful home after years of conflict. She began to speak daily of her home as a sanctuary, filled with harmony. Lao. It first takes shape in the unseen realm of your thoughts and feelings. The mind sketches the blueprint, but it is the heart's emotion that breathes life into the design. To feel it in advance is to inhabit the reality you desire before the physical evidence has arrived. It is stepping into the state of already having, already being, already living the vision, so completely that the outer world must eventually reflect it back. When you feel the joy of answered prayer before the answer comes, you are sending a clear, unwavering signal to life. This is not a hollow daydream but a deliberate practice of aligning your inner atmosphere with the outcome you wish to experience. The world around you is a mirror, and it reflects the vibration you hold most consistently. Hold the feeling of success, and doors open to match it. Hold the feeling of gratitude, and more arrives to be grateful for. The power of feeling in advance lies in the way it conditions your subconscious mind. The subconscious accepts emotion as truth. It does not argue. It does not reason. It simply takes the dominant feeling and works to make it a reality. This is why speaking words without emotion often falls flat, while pairing those same words with deep, genuine feeling makes them magnetic. The emotional state becomes the command that moves the unseen into action. Consider the story of a man who longed to own his own home after years of renting. Each night, before sleep, he imagined himself walking through rooms filled with his own furniture, hearing the sound of his key turning in the lock, smelling the scent of fresh paint he had chosen. He did not just see these things, he felt the pride, the relief, the comfort, as if they were happening at that moment. Within a year, through a series of unexpected opportunities, he purchased a home that matched his imagined one almost exactly. His outer world caught up to the reality he had already lived in his heart. Feeling it in advance also changes your daily behavior. When you truly feel wealthy, you carry yourself differently. You make decisions from a place of stability rather than desperation. When you feel loved, you speak and act with more openness and kindness. When you feel successful, you take bolder steps toward your goals. These changes in action create conditions that bring the imagined reality closer with surprising speed. Practice this. Choose a quiet moment each day to close your eyes and step into the scene of your fulfilled desire. Let it be vivid. See the colors, hear the sounds, notice the textures, but most importantly, allow yourself to feel the emotions as if the scene were happening now. Feel the relief of the bill paid, the thrill of the opportunity accepted, the peace of the restored relationship. Do not strain. Simply allow yourself to dwell in that state for a few minutes, sinking into it until it feels natural. That you may find that this practice begins to shift your mood in lasting ways. Even in the midst of challenges, the memory of that feeling becomes an anchor. It reminds you that your present situation is not the final chapter, but merely the path toward the chapter you have already visited in your inner world. You begin to trust the process more, because you have already touched the destination in your imagination. There is a quiet confidence that comes from living in the feeling of the answered desire. You stop chasing and begin allowing. You stop doubting and start expecting. The timing and method of manifestation no longer trouble you, because you know the feeling is the cause and the outer event is simply the effect. Like a gardener who smells the blossoms before the buds appear, you carry the assurance that the harvest is on its way. Another example is a young artist who dreamed of having her work displayed in a gallery. Instead of focusing on the rejection letters she had received, she began to close her eyes each morning and feel the pride of seeing her paintings on the wall, hearing the voices of visitors admiring her work, and sensing the joy of signing her first sold piece. 6 months later, she was invited to participate in a local exhibition, and several of her pieces sold. She said the experience felt familiar, because she had already lived it many times in her inner world. To feel it in advance is not to pretend or to ignore present conditions. It is to recognize that your inner state is the seed, and the outer conditions are the fruit. By living in the feeling now, you ensure that the seed you are planting is strong, healthy, and true to your desire. It is a sacred act of faith, a silent declaration that what you seek is already yours in essence, and is simply making its way into form. Life always seeks to match the inner picture you hold with the greatest consistency. When that picture is charged with genuine emotion, it becomes irresistible. So step into your desired reality today, not as a distant hope, but as a present experience in the realm of feeling. Walk in it, speak from it, and let it shape your actions. In time, the walls around you will change to match the rooms you have already visited in your heart. Take inspired action when the vision is clear and the words have been spoken with faith. There comes a moment when movement is required. Desire without motion is like a seed left unwatered. It holds all the potential for growth, but is never given the chance to take root. To take inspired action is to act in harmony with the inner decree, following the gentle nudges, ideas, and opportunities that rise up when your intention is aligned. It is not about forcing or striving in desperation. It is about moving in step with guidance that feels right, even if it does not make sense to the logical mind. Inspired action is different from frantic action. Frantic action comes from fear, a belief that you must push, grasp, or control every detail to make things happen. Inspired action comes from trust, a calm inner knowing that you are being led toward your desire and that your role is to respond when the doors appear. This kind of action feels lighter, almost effortless, because it is born from alignment rather than struggle. Consider the musician who dreamed of performing on a larger stage. He spent years honing his craft in private, affirming daily that his gift was making a way for him. One afternoon, while running errands, he felt a sudden impulse to stop by a cafe he had never visited. Inside, he met a fellow musician who was curating talent for a local festival. That chance meeting led to a performance slot in front of a crowd far larger than he had ever played for, opening doors for his career. The decision to follow that small inner prompting was an inspired action, one step that shifted everything. When you take inspired action, you are saying to life, I am ready to receive. You are creating channels for your desire to flow into. This might be as simple as making a phone call, signing up for a class, reorganizing your workspace, or sending an email you have been postponing. The outer step may seem small, but it signals readiness and invites the next piece to appear. There is a powerful relationship between faith and action. Faith plants the seed, action waters it. You do not need to know the entire path to take the next step. In fact, waiting until you see the full plan often keeps you stuck. The law responds to movement, and each inspired step reveals the next. Think of it as walking through a dark hallway with a lantern. The light only reaches a few steps ahead, but with each move forward, more is illuminated. Another story tells of a woman who longed to leave her corporate job for work that felt more meaningful. She declared daily that she was guided to the perfect opportunity. One morning, she woke with a strong idea to attend a networking breakfast, even though she knew no one there. That single action led to a conversation with a nonprofit director who later offered her a position that matched her skills and passion. She could not have planned that encounter, but she could respond to the urge to attend. Taking inspired action also builds momentum. When you act, even in a small way, you shift your energy from waiting to creating. You reinforce your belief that your desire is already on its way and that you are a willing participant in its arrival. This changes your state from passive hoping to active receiving, which draws more opportunities toward you. It is important to recognize that inspired action often comes disguised as ordinary tasks. You may feel prompted to tidy your home, make space in your calendar, or complete a project you left unfinished. These steps create energetic room for the new to enter, clearing physical, mental, and emotional clutter signals that you are making space for the very thing you have spoken into being. Doubt is the greatest thief of inspired action. When a nudge comes, the doubting mind asks for proof, certainty, or a guarantee of success before moving. This hesitation can close the door before the blessing has a chance to walk through. Trust that if the idea arrived while you were in a state of faith, it is part of the unfolding. You do not need to know all the reasons, you need only to move. Taking inspired action is not about exhausting yourself with endless effort. It is about being attentive, responsive, and willing. It is knowing that your desire and the path to it are already connected, and that each step you take in faith is part of that connection drawing tighter. Sometimes the step will be bold and public. Other times it will be quiet and private. Both are equally powerful when born from inner alignment. In your own life, begin to notice the gentle invitations that come to you: a sudden idea, a conversation that sparks interest, a repeated suggestion from different sources. Pause, listen, and if it feels right, act. Even the smallest movement can shift the entire landscape of your circumstances. When you marry faith-filled words with inspired action, you become a living magnet for your desires. You no longer stand still waiting for life to deliver. You meet it halfway, walking toward it as it walks toward you. In this meeting point between vision and movement, miracles are made visible. 5. Release the how and give thanks. There comes a moment in every act of creation when the speaking is done, the vision is set, and the actions have been taken. This is the moment to release the how. To release the how is to step back from the need to control every detail of the path your desire will take. It is to trust that the same power that placed the idea in your heart already knows the perfect way to bring it to pass. The human mind often tries to map every turn, predict every connection, and manage every timing, but such effort only creates tension. True faith loosens its grip and allows life to arrange the pieces in ways beyond imagining. When you cling to a single route or method, you may block the very channels through which your good could arrive. By insisting it must come through this person, on this date, in this form, you are narrowing the infinite to the limited. Releasing the how does not mean giving up the desire. It means trusting the delivery. Just as a seed grows beneath the soil, without the gardener digging it up each day to check, your declaration is unfolding in the unseen. The roots are taking hold, the stem is pushing upward, and at the right moment, it will break through into sight. Giving thanks is the companion of release. Gratitude anchors you in the certainty that what you have asked for is already on its way. When you give thanks before the evidence appears, you are acting as if it were already done. This state of gratitude shifts your energy from wanting to receiving, from absence to presence. It tells life that you recognize the gift, even if it is still wrapped. There is great peace in this posture. No longer are you anxiously scanning the horizon for a sign. Instead, you are moving through your days with the quiet knowing that the sign will appear at the perfect time. You notice and appreciate the smaller blessings along the way, understanding that each is part of the larger tapestry being woven. The more you give thanks for what you have now, the more reasons you are given to give thanks for in the future. One woman desired to move to a new city, but had no clear plan for how it would happen. She spoke her intention daily, took steps to prepare, and then released the details. Each morning she gave thanks for her beautiful new home, even while living in the same apartment. Within 6 months, a friend unexpectedly offered her a position in that very city, along with temporary housing. She often said that the turning point came when she stopped asking how and started saying thank you. Releasing the how also frees you from the burden of impatience. Impatience comes from believing the timing is wrong. Trust believes the timing is perfect. You may think your desire should arrive now, but unseen arrangements may still be unfolding that will make its arrival smoother and more complete. Gratitude keeps your heart open during this waiting, turning what could feel like delay into a season of preparation. This release is not passive. It does not mean you sit back and do nothing. It means you stop forcing. You remain alert and ready to act when the next step becomes clear. But you are no longer pushing against closed doors. You understand that the right door will open without strain, and you will recognize it when it does. The energy you would have spent worrying is instead spent nurturing your inner state and tending to the blessings already present. Gratitude also has a multiplying effect. By focusing on what is good and giving thanks for it, you draw more good into your life. It is as if you are telling the universe, I see the gift, I value it, and I am ready for more. Even small acts of thanksgiving, acknowledging a kind word, a sunny day, or an unexpected smile, keep your attention on abundance rather than lack. This shift in focus changes how you show up in the world, and the world responds in kind. Consider the man who longed for a new business opportunity. After months of trying to force partnerships that never materialized, he decided to release the how. He affirmed his readiness for the right opportunity and began each day listing 10 things he was grateful for. One of those days, while expressing gratitude for an old colleague, he felt prompted to reach out to him. That call led to a collaboration that was more rewarding than anything he had been chasing. The how had taken care of itself in your own life. Practice releasing the how by ending your declarations with a phrase that surrenders the details to divine order. Follow it with a moment of deep thanks, as if the result had already arrived. Walk through your day with the lightness of one who knows the matter is settled. Respond to guidance, appreciate what is here, and trust the rest to unfold in perfect timing. When you release the how and give thanks, you place yourself in harmony with the laws of creation. You no longer block the flow with fear or narrow it with overplanning. You become a willing receiver, open to channels you could not have imagined. And when your desire arrives, often in ways more beautiful than you envisioned, you will recognize that it was your trust and gratitude that cleared the path for it to come. Daily practice 3 to 5 minutes. Declare 3 positive statements about your desired reality. Speak them as unshakable truth. Visualize and feel them complete. Take one small inspired action. Release control and give thanks. Closing, beloved. Every word you speak is a seed. Choose them as a wise gardener chooses what to plant. Plant beauty, abundance, joy, and watch your life bloom. Say with me, I speak my reality, and it is good. My blessings arrive in perfect timing. My words are my power, and today I use them well.